Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Wise Women Dialogues on Full Disclosure and Ascension. Today, I'm so happy to have Tiziana Alma Scalisi here. She is in Florence, Italy, and she has been a participant in the Global Light Leader program with Dwayne and I for 2 years in a row, just graduating for her second certification with us. And knowing you, Tiziana, has been such a wonderful pleasure and gift. And we met Tiziana, by the way, when we traveled to Rome to teach holistic channeling with our friend Laura. And Tiziana was somebody who came. She traveled down from Florence and participated in that whole experience, that 3-day experience with us. It was very powerful, and we just was like, we knew we were sisters. And then you joined our program, and now it's like been what, I don't know, 3 years we've known you now. It's amazing. So welcome, Tiziana.
Hi, good evening. Here in Italy is evening, and good morning for you.
That's right.
Yes, I'm very happy to join your precious moment and to be part of this because it's a gift. And yes, we met almost 3 years ago, and I jump into a completely different life. So I didn't know, but it was the beginning of a diving. Um,
Right.
yeah,
It was
very important.
amazing, your courage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I wanted to just give a little intro about who you are, well, it's like what brought you to where you are now. So you have always been a writer. And so Tiziana just published her first actual book, and it's called Now in and Here, the translation into English, Now and Here. And the subtitle we're going to talk about a little more later, Never Undervalue the Strength of an Terrible, in Italian, woman. And so she's going to go into that word, what it means,
Yes,
and why she chose that word for the subtitle.
definitely.
So her book is all about. You're going to talk more about it. It's all about stillness, finding the silence, literally like a woman's journey into becoming her priestess self, finding the presence, and I'm just so amazed at your journey over the last year, and with the lockdowns in Italy and what that looked like in Florence. Um, but you've always been a writer, and this book like was just birthed from you in this time. So can you introduce yourself a little bit more and tell us, who were you that brought you to where you are now?
Yeah, it's very difficult, and my English is not so good.
We are
So
patient and loving.
yeah. And yes, I've been writing for all my life, and one of the first memory is about me at 5 years old with a pen and a paper and in my garden. And yes, it has always been um, uh, like something that I need to do. I need to write it down, everything that was in my head. And then with 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 the years, I became a journalist, and then when I started to move more deeply inside myself, I found that the writing for me is saying who I am, is expressing myself, And now I can do it with no more fear of hiding me or hiding part of myself. And it takes very long time for me, and it was very hard sometimes, but now the book is simply what I am now. It's simply, it's not a kind of demonstration of mm, how good I am in writing. It's not my job to 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 tell if I am good enough. I write because I have to write, and I have to say something, and to, I hope, also to help people or women to find the courage and the strength to move the steps in their lives, because it takes time, and it takes patience to
Yeah.
know who we are.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So when I first met you, before the whole um, craziness started in 2020, we, I remember vividly after 3 days of being together, this group of women with um, Dwayne with us and everything, and we had gone so deep in the channeling work, and you spoke in the final circle with tears. You're like, I have to show you who I really am. I haven't been honest with you about who I really am. And I remember so vividly, I'm like, what's she gonna say? She's like, a famous actress? Or I'm like, what? And you said, I am basic, like in my words, my interpretation, you were like, I am like a clairvoyant. I'm a seer. I have prophetic dreams. I'm I'm like this highly sensitive person. Um, and like I'm a priestess, but I need a next step. I need to take my next step, and I think I've just found it here. Um, and it was very powerful to witness the depth of that in your heart, of the longing to embody who you knew you are, because your life was at that point, your life was not representative of who you truly were, like your relationships, your divorce, the living in Florence, even like this, none of it was really matching your essence, and you were struggling.
Yes, that's very true. And I remember the need, deep, I felt deeply the, I had to speak in that precise moment. I were so scared, and so and I was among people that I didn't met before, and we didn't know each other before that those days. And but I remember uh, the time and the space in that precise moment. And I remember myself like I was me inside of me, and I were I were bringing putting all my pieces together, and well, I was I was speaking, and I think I was channeling. I think I was channeling because I went on and on and on until I knew that it was all. And then I felt that the time, the veil dropped, and and it was a new beginning, a rebirthing. And then I say yes. You always teach us to say yes. And it's so important to understand the yes. It's something that moves from inside. And when you, I can understand English, but when you and Dave asked me to be a part of the Jaguar wave, I didn't understand anything. Anything. I couldn't remember anything. I remember only you with me, and I felt this yes, okay, let's jump. It's okay. And then let's see. And I think that life has this moment for everyone. There are some mm, sacred moments in which we have to say yes to the unknown, whatever it is. And this is the, I know, I think the threshold or the doorway to something that you have to be faithful. We use only our mind to control, to measure, to underline, to put uh, steps one after another, and we control everything. And I think that, like my book, it was a jump into nowhere. I, yes, I have always write in my life, but I have so many diaries inside my my shelf or under my bed, and for the first time, I was ready, and so I say yes another time, once more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And you birthed like this powerful, powerful book. Um, and what comes up for me now is I remember you talking about, I remember when you told me you started writing this book because we were having regular Zoom conversations and mentoring calls, um and I remember you were describing the situation in Florence at that time, and like really intense lockdowns compared to certainly the Big Island. Like, can you describe a little bit about what that was like for you, and
Yeah,
diving
yeah,
into the book, what that helped you with?
yeah. I mm, I've been to California on January, and then I come back here in Italy, and within a month,
Right.
almost a month, everything changed completely, and we were totally afraid, and it was something unexpected for the whole mm, country. And suddenly, from Sunday to Monday, they told us that we have to stay closed in our house, and what was outside, it was mm, unknown and dangerous, and even breathing is, it it could be dangerous. And so it was the first time, and I have to explain to my kids that the life that they knew they have to stop to do anything. And so I was very scared about having food, and about my job, about my money, and it was so shocking. And mm, and I remember that I said okay, and mm, I searched the silence. I searched. I was looking for our connection from with my kids, and I told them, okay, we are together. It's okay. We are fine, and let's see day by day. And uh, this brings me in a place that I couldn't find if I wasn't so closed, because every day I started to do yoga, and I suddenly I started to choose silence, to choose my stillness. And from that point, I found I think, the strength and the courage to put all my pieces together. I knew that that was the right time to look at me, but looking at me from another point of view, from inside of the inside. And if you, it's very hard to understand, because if you don't prove it, you cannot know how deep we can move inside of ourselves. And the more we go inside, the richest things, the richest gift we can find. And so I started to write, and in about, I think, 3 weeks, maybe less, my book was ready.
Wow.
And I knew that this was the right time to step outside. So I I think I made a journey from inside outside, and this brings me very powerful moment, even if we were closed at home, and we were very worried about what the future can bring, because it was very hard. And but we we can find the way, because we were still, we were together, and we try not to melt into the scaring things that were outside and on TV. It was, I closed everything,
Yeah.
and we can stay together in harmony and joy, and so it was the best thing I think we can do to pass through this bad moment.
Yes. Yeah. It's so powerful. I'm just gonna share my screen so people can see the cover of your book. And it's still like mind blowing to me that this came out. And I mean, it's like, I don't want to say you channeled it, but it, like, maybe from your inside of the inside place, like this amazing wisdom just poured through you. And I'm just going to share my screen so people can see um, the cover of your book.
but I do channel some mm, part of my book, and there is the last part of my book where I describe a kind of story for babies, I think, and I wrote it down by channeling almost 10 years ago, and I didn't know that I was a channeler. I didn't know that I was writing something by a clairvoyancing,
Yeah.
and now was the right time to recognize that this was the gift, and from this narration, from this story, they the guides they teach me the way. They told me what to do, how to do it, in a time that I didn't knew that I am who I am. And so it was very important to put inside the book, because the book is a gift, and I have this beautiful so in, I have this beautiful gift of channeling, and it's so precious, so incredible, and this is something that makes me happy, and every time I wonder how can be a channeling, but I am a channeler, so this is a gift, and
Yeah.
I'm very grateful. Yeah.
I'm grateful too. I'm grateful that you discovered and validated this in yourself. But also I want to demystify channeling for people with you,
Yeah.
because would you say that it was a natural gift that you were born with, and that you finally felt like like maybe safety or containment, that you could finally explore it and start to have that communion with your higher self?
Yes, with Sacred Future, I find uh, my place, because I always be a clairvoyant,
Yeah.
and I always hear, how do you call it, clairaudience? How do you
Yes,
call
right. Mm-hmm.
it? And my first memory about this, I was 5 years old, and I was very scared about it. And so I tried to forget this part of me,
Yeah.
and I didn't know how to name it. I didn't want to. I didn't know who I am. And when we met in Rome, I need to have a safe place to name,
Mm-hmm.
because I was so confused, and I didn't know that the simple things that were happening to me, uh, there was something bigger.
Right.
And do you remember when we have that session that you said that, oh, you're a clairaudience?
Yeah.
This is your major
Your
gift.
main gift. Yeah. Yeah. The primary way that you receive information
Yeah,
is hearing it.
yeah, and I didn't know, but I yes, it was very important to be in a safe place, to know
Absolutely.
who I am, to know how to use my tools, how to use tools means also not to use them.
Right. When not to use them.
When it's not, it's very important to understand where we are in every moment, and which are our boundaries. We have the rules. I have rules, and I can't do anything if I know that it's not safe, or it's not the good thing, or the other person doesn't want to. And to me, this is very so sacred. And but now I can use my tools in a proper way. Yes,
You're,
because
yeah. It's like what you said earlier, when to say yes and what to say yes to. Because whenever you say yes, you're also saying no to something.
yeah,
You're making a choice to for this and not that. And that's like a universal law of attraction and repulsion, right? And it's like, when you finally felt, and this happened in my life too, and so I'm inviting listeners to really tune into your own life, because you know have you had the containment and the safe place, so to speak, to give a full yes to knowing who you are? And in ancient times, this would have been the initiation rites, where the community, the healthy community, in collaboration with nature and cosmos, would have held the young people through, challenges, tests, inner in like deep in inner work, to discover who they are. And there are multiple journeys like that one takes in their life. But in modern society, you and I, and our life, what we have gone through, and other people, who you are. We don't have naturally built into our cultures anymore these containers to support the development of, the seers, the oracles, the clairvoyants, the healers, the natural spiritual healers, and the channels, right? And it's kind of like a scary, it's been made into like a scary, outside of the norm,
mhm,
like, kind of, um divergent
yeah,
divergent qualities in people that you want to avoid, that are, in like religion, it's like, oh, it's part, if you hear voices, it's the devil or whatever. And so
mhm,
they put it in this like category, maybe even hospitalize people. And meanwhile, all of the very sensitive people who have this potential to be clear, accurate channels of their soul light, of the the infinite universal, akashic records, to benefit humanity, they're shut down.
yeah,
Their gift doesn't get to develop. So you said yes and found your way and wrote this book to help others
yeah.
to
I hope
sustain.
so. And to me, two more things are very important. The one is that uh, we have to forget who we are.
Mhm.
In it, Many times we are afraid to lose our identity, our social identity. And so we put before us who we are, when you ask me who you are, I forgot to say I'm a journalist, I'm a writer, I'm a mother. I don't know. Let's see. And so I am many things, but when many times when we have circles or when I am in groups, I don't like to mm, perceive. I don't know if it's the right term. There are always many people that put themselves in front of the group, and I think that this is um, uh, a way of feeling unsecure, because you put in front of them of you first and of the others
Like
who
a
you are,
mask.
yeah, what you are doing in society. I think that when we start um, a sacred mm, a sacred school, a sacred, I don't know how to call it, you whenever you choose religious one, not religion, it's okay. You have to step aside, and I think this is very clear to me and to you, because we know who what does really means to be a hollow bone, a sacred place, a sacred channel. And um, it doesn't matter who I am when I channel. It's not important. It's important to be the most pure heart, the most pure love. And so the the words can flow. And this is very important to me. And
Yeah.
I know that because you teach every day, you teach this kind of way of thinking also. And the other thing is that it's not so simple in my life know uh, to know things before they happens. This is very this is a thing that I have to manage, because it's very mm, it's very important to it's a like a burden that you carry. And so being a medium or being a very sensitive people, it's not a simple things, because it's we have to know also the dark part of the energies. It's
That's
very
true.
important. If we don't know, we can't be pure. And so I think that it's important to be honest, to be we talked some days ago about the humility, to be very humble. Do you, it's okay, humble.
Humble, humble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And to say, okay, it's me, what you see, what you perceive about me. It's not important that I tell you about my life. It's okay. And I think this is very important, because only from our still point, from our silence, we can really tune with other people. We can really listen of what merges from the silence.
Wow, beautiful. So can you talk more now about your subtitle?
Ah, yes. So in English, it's never undervalue the strength. Okay, in Italian is donna terribile. Never undervalue the strength of a free woman, a woman who can be caring, who can be loving, but she has the strength and the determination to be very strong and to we can also we know uh, that we can be very hard. we can have we can have the courage to step outside. We can be many things, so not only the the gentleness and the kind of sweet woman. Our goddess are all women very strong.
Yeah.
They were a leader. They were they knew when to be gentle, and they knew how to do war. And my during a channeling, I met a great woman, and she showed me. Uh, she brings me into a battle field, and I have very strong memories about that journey, and it was very hard because I saw the sorrow. I heard people were dying, and I see them, and she brings me into the war, and she showed me what was the war, and she told me that uh, it's important to be a leader, a good leader, also during a war. And a good leader has always in mind the families, the babies, the women, but she knew that she had to fight. And so this is the meaning. A woman can be everything, and everything means everything. Also, um, with the courage of fighting against someone else if necessary.
Yeah. Yeah. I know there, I met a beautiful author, China Galland, one time, and we talked about her books. One of her books was about the Black Madonna, and one of them was about, she called, the title of her book was about, I don't know if it was the main title or the subtitle, but Fierce Compassion. And it was about this archetypal goddess that embodied fierce compassion.
Yeah.
And she went to India, and she got involved with helping um, with the children that were rescued from human trafficking, from child sex trafficking in India. And like a chapter or so of the book was about her experience there. And this, like, unless you can find your fierce compassion, you cannot do that work. And so what I'm hearing you say is, unless you can embody your fierce compassion, you won't have the spine or like the backbone or the courage to walk into the darkness, to walk into your own shadow, into battle, so to speak, um, with like the internalized predator, with the even the external predator projection. right? And I mean, you're just really naming something so poignant and timely for these times. Because if we are not fortified in our fierce, determined compassion, which means like what you say, going to the still point and not running away, not avoiding, denying, fearing who we truly, truly are, not being distracted by the shiny objects here and there, but like going to that still point, seat of the soul in you. And you will have to battle your way there, so to speak, right? In a way, you will have to face inner demon after inner demon and predator voices saying, no, you can't have wholeness. You can't have communion with the divine directly. You can't, you can't, you can't. You should be here, there. You know, you should be struggling to get approval from this faction or those people or this family member. What are you doing on this journey to the still point? You know, you're wasting your time, you'll never make it, it's not what you think it is, right? And you have to battle your way, but with compassion, with this determined compassion. And so with that like energy, I hear that energy in what you're describing. Never undervalue the strength of a terrible woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from that still point, we can also choose the right words. We drop the right words to say, because we are living in a moment that we spare so many words, and we are bombarding from propaganda, from music, rumors. It Everything is so chaotic, and we have to learn again from the silence. We have to choose uh, the right time, the right words. We have to save words, because the words are uh, our tools. They they We can create our future with words, and so words are very powerful,
Yes.
very powerful, so much powerful. And people have to put the attention now on words, because now is the time to rest, to stop, to understand, and to drop the veils also of using too much words. There's no use in too much words. And the silence is the other part of the words. If you say something that you really feel, and so you when I this is very important to me, because when I was a child, I was uh, I grew, I was educated, um, always feeling myself a doll. And they told me that I am meaningless, and I'm a dull person, and I have to shut up, and I don't have to speak. So
Wow. Who's
I
telling
was
you
a
this? Your teachers, your culture?
sorry,
Who's telling you this? Your
my
culture,
parents,
your
my
parents?
parents, yeah. And so I I was learning this these two parts of me, inside I have so many words to say, and I know, because I can hear the voices of the nature, the voices of the ocean. I know it, the goddess voices. Now I know, and but I have to stay in silence, because everything that I can say may be wrong, and so. But this is a precious gift to me, because I learn what to say, how to say it, and I felt how mm, words can hurt,
Yeah.
and I um, was hurted. Was I have so so many wounds inside of me, given by words,
Right.
and so it's very important to learn and to teach how to speak and what to say. if we
Yeah.
if we have to build a new word, I think it's important to start from the silence and then to choose the right words.
Yeah.
Otherwise
Start
it's
from the
always
silence. Start from the silence and let the words arise from your heart.
even though I'm speaking, so I'm so sorry. I'm speaking, but I love silence.
Yeah, no, you said something so profound there. I mean, I think you're naming a fundamental, you know, wisdoms for the to be the building blocks of our new earth and the new our new cultures that are rising. And you said um, we must learn again from the silence. And that just really landed in me. It really landed in me because when do people today really commune with the silence? And when we say, when you and I are talking silence, we're talking about um, like that very sacred, alive consciousness, like universal consciousness, like the void that is just the silence, right? The stillness that is peace. When do people ever stop long enough to commune with that? And who are we when that is severed, exiled, not a part of our lives? Who are we if we are just constantly doing and going? And even when we go to bed at night, you know, people, their minds are so busy, they have to turn on a TV to distract their mind to fall asleep, right? They have to take sleeping pills or sedatives just to stop the, you know, the monkey mind, the momentum in here to fall asleep, to get some sleep. And then in the dreaming, it's more of that, like that, you know, mouse in a maze, you know, and we wake up not rested. And it's like, yeah, I agree with you completely. It is time for us to slow down and stop. And I do believe that for some people, 2020 was that opportunity, even though coupled with the stresses, you know, heightened stress for some people of money and food, like you said in the beginning, those things had to get sorted. But, you know, it's like you can't go out. And so this year of, you know, I know that for you in Florence, it was like on this day and this day you can walk around the block at that level of lockdown, you know, which we didn't have here in Hawaii, but or at least on Big Island. But it's like, yeah, that's like the ashram, you know, you're at the ashram.
Yeah. It's very hard. Yeah. Because if you, we don't know if we can go out. I- Today is in it's we can do we can't program, we can do a program, so we can stay inside. It's okay, and let's see what we have in this inside, and we can always start from what we have. It's very important. It's a starting point. I think it's a starting point, a very hard moment, but it is a starting point. But we have to step to do something that we have never done. So no more TV, no more radio for a week.
Absolutely.
It's okay. We can do it. We can do it. No more Facebook. It's okay. I have no ring in my phone, in my smartphone. No more rings because it's okay. When I bring my smartphone, I can call back who's searching me. It's okay. This is a very uh, this is a small thing, but it's so important
It is.
because we have to find our way. No more others' agenda.
That's right.
Our way. We can choose. It's okay. And let's surf this time.
Yeah, and I love that. I love this phrase, let's see. Let's
Yeah.
see. That, I mean, write another book and call it let's see. I mean, it's just like that phrase is just so perfect, you know. It's just like, who are you? I don't know. Let's see. Right? And it's just like, what's in the silence? What's it this I let's see. You know, like, you know, is this good or bad? Well, you know, let's just be present with it and let's see. Let's see what happens.
So we
Yeah.
can live the now. My book is now and here. Now, let's choose our now.
Yeah.
And we are here. We can do anything more or less. We are here. And so let's see. We choose now to be present, to be we can choose each time, each moment of our life. Doesn't matter to have big issues. We can choose from the smallest things. I think this is the gift that the book gave me, to
Yeah.
to choose step by step, to choose every words, and to not be worried about the future, because I am my future. It's
Ashe.
okay. I can
Ashe.
walk in my future. And
Yes.
let's see.
Yes. 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 100%. Thank you so much, Tiziana. And I'm just going to show your book cover one more time. And this is actually not your book cover, but um, it is the flyer
Yeah,
from
the flyer. This is
October,
the flyer.
from a speaking event after your book was published, and you went to do this event to talk about your book. So
Yeah.
here is, but this is here. This is the cover. Yeah.
And it was very, it's strange for me to to choose a picture of me. It was very important
Mm-hmm.
to put myself in this book, in front of this book. And I knew that that was the way. This is how they how how I thought about this book. I
Yes,
put
this
myself out. Yeah.
yes, this photo is just like I look at this photo of you and I just go into a state of a timeless place, and that your soul there behind your eyes is like inviting me to experience my own timelessness and vastness, right? My own universe. That's what this photo like what I get from looking at you. Yeah, and it was, this was a journey for you. You had many, many breakthroughs, many levels of initiation. The beautiful goddesses that you worked with that helped you through each layer of your resistance and fear and insecurities. Um, you're really an example of that terrible woman, of the fierce compassion and determination, saying yes to yourself, to your right to exist, to your right to freedom and sovereignty, and your own divinity, to know yourself as divine, with no one else manipulating what your unique journey looks like anymore.
And
So,
you hold me for the the most time, the final part of my journey. You hold me so deeply, and it was totally unexpected because I've never have this kind of relationship before, and we are not friends. You are my mentor, and but we share many things. It's and I feel I'm very grateful for this this journey that you gave me. And yes, it was a rebirthing. And every year on the 12th of May, I have my new birthday.
yeah.
I was
Well,
born on the 2nd of February, but I have my rebirthing on the 12th of May. And
mm-hmm.
I love to remember this this moment. Yes, because it was very important. Yeah.
Oh, yay. Your birthday's coming up then.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love you so much, Tiziana. I just hold you so close in my heart. And definitely a sister, soul sister. Keep going, right? It's like keep going. And for all of you who are touched by the journey Tiziana took, who, maybe you've always been a writer, maybe you have wisdom inside you that you want to come out, in just whether through your book or making videos or podcasts or blogs or whatever. Um, find your fierce compassion, be a terrible woman. you
I
know,
promise.
yeah.
I'll be. I promise.
Yeah, yeah. Find that fierce compassion and determination, and don't be afraid of the vastness inside you, because that's who you are. So how can people, for one, I am so excited to see what happens next in your life, Tiziana. You
Me
know,
too.
yeah, I'm so excited. I get excited for your gift coming out even more, and people being able to sit with you and learn from you, maybe writing workshop or whatever. But um, how can people get in touch with you and buy your book?
So it's they can go on my website, and it is called Mimesia, but you can write it down because I know it's quite difficult to say in English. And so you can contact me on my website, and my book is on Amazon. So you for the ones that you can read in Italian, you can buy it, and
Yes, it
I
is in Italian, and so you
yeah
need to be able to read Italian.
yeah
But that can definitely, in the future, it can, there's a possibility of an English version.
yes, I think so, but I don't want to do it by myself because
No, right.
I know that I need someone else to do it for me, because it's good to have uh, another eye on the translation. So
Yeah. So
if it can,
if anybody out there
yeah, yeah,
who
okay,
is bilingual with Italian and English, and you read and you just get so excited about, of course you will, Tiziana's book,
thank you.
and you want to join, our this sacred family and help her bring that through in English for we English speakers. What a gift to us. So
It would
get in
be
touch with
great.
her,
Please,
translator.
yes, 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 definitely, yes. Thank you. So thank you, Maria. Thank you
Thank you,
for
Tiziana.
your
Thank
love,
you.
for
Huge
your
love.
yes, yeah.
Yes, yes. And I will put the links so you can find it more easily in the description of the video below. And thank you, beautiful sister.
Thank you so
Blessings to you, and all the courage that it took for you to be here now talking with me and reaching even more light workers and star seeds who are ready to claim their true gifts, to self-validate their gifts. And so thank you everyone for joining us. And if you would like to learn more about Sacred Future, just go to sacredfuture.org, and please subscribe and watch all of our videos. This is episode 19 of Wise Women Dialogues, and more to come. So I hope that you're enjoying what we are bringing to you. And as always, we love you. I love you. Aloha, and stay true to your heart.